Coming up in this week's show, vehicles from Audi, Kia and Hyundai come under the spotlight.
We find a suitable replacement for a Renault Captur 1.2T.
And we compare the fuel consumption between Suzuki Jimny models.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Guide. We'll be tackling a fresh batch of your vehicle-related questions and queries once again. And here to help us this week, Bongani, also known as Mr. How Much, and Bradley Scorer from Savisa. Welcome, gentlemen. Nice to have you back in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Remember, if you like the panel's advice, you can send us an email to buyersguide@ignitiontv.co.za, and please include as much detail as you can, plus a clear photograph of yourself.
Okay, we're going to kick off things with a question from Sibasiso, who hails from Durban. And he's in search of an affordable second-hand SUV. With a budget of only 150,000 Rand, he's considering the following options: a 2013 Audi Q5, a Kia Sportage, Hyundai iX35. Those are the cars that he wants. He's aiming for a monthly installment, because he's in the finances, of 4,000 Rand a month. So first of all, we're going to take the Audi and we're going to throw in the dustbin.
Yep.
What do you guys think about the Kia and the Hyundai?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the Audi.
Yes.
And I would go with the iX35. I believe it's a solid built car. I think it's the 2.4 motor is very reliable.
2 litre.
So the 2 litre and 2.4, I think, are the two options.
Same thing.
And great cars, reliable, solidly built, well put together. And at 150 grand, that's probably going to be your best option. Where I find the Kia Sportage is a bit more high maintenance compared to the iX35.
Yeah.
So that's what I find. And the Audi is off the table completely.
Definitely. Bongani.
Yeah, the Audi is out. I actually like the Kia Sportage. I know someone who's had one for years.
Yeah.
Very thirsty on petrol if you can't find a diesel, but it's a great car. Reliable, and they just go forever.
They're both actually good cars. So I would always say to somebody, if there's two that you're not too sure of, go and drive them both. Because I like, Bradley likes the iX35, you like the Kia. This is why we have so many different options
The
available.
Sportage is slightly bigger though.
Because everybody has, they have different options. Yeah. So like the Sportage, maybe a bit more space.
Yeah.
So go and drive those two cars and then see which one you prefer. Do you prefer the Hyundai or the Kia? Because they're, as I say, both good cars. And then do your search around and then find the best version you can of that one. So if you prefer the Hyundai, look around. Don't just buy the first one you find. Go and look at 10 of them, because there's lots of them around.
Yeah.
You go onto any car sales internet site and you'll find a whole lot there, and see which one you can get within your budget, which is the best condition, and grab that one. You're not going to go wrong with that.
In 150k, he's not going to get any low milers.
Yeah.
He needs to remember that.
But they are in that sort of price range, so you can find something with like 120,000 Ks on it, which is good.
Yeah.
Check service history, check the condition of the car, and as I say, so many to choose from. Find the best one that suits you.
Definitely not that Audi though.
Yeah, no, the Audi is like a no-brainer. No.
Our next viewer is Charlie, the proud owner of a 2012 Fiat 500 Pop with 117,000 kilometers on the clock, and he now seeks to replace it. His requirements include a comfortable and quiet ride, ease of access and parking, an automatic transmission, simple maintenance that he can do himself, capability to handle potholes, and a combination of fuel efficiency and reliability. He doesn't want little, does he? He's not interested in products from VW and Toyota, and with a budget of 250,000 Rand, what would be his best buy?
Charlie seems to know what he wants, but the further I read, I just kept hearing Hyundai Venue. There's a lot of 2021 models for around 250 with around 50,000 kilometers, and it's a solid
It fits
vehicle.
his requirements.
Yeah, it fits his requirements, and it's very affordable too. So yeah, put him in that.
That's a good option, because it will be a bit more spacious. I mean, well, I suppose, a Matchbox is a bit more spacious than a Fiat 500. Ledley?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of cars again in that sort of price range. I mean, you could go for something like a Suzuki Swift Auto, which is sort of a bit bigger than the Fiat 500, but not that much bigger, so easy to park. But if you wanted to stay in the same stable of Stellantis, there's C3 Aircrossers on the market for that sort of price, which is a very nice car with warranties and maintenance plan and a very quality ride.
It's actually a car we forget about quite often.
Yeah.
The C3 they brought out in the new one, the little 1.2, the basic non-turbo version.
Yeah.
Is not bad. But I think the problem with it is that resale value on those cars, and in terms of, if something breaks in the future, it can be a bit problematic to fix. So you want something simple to fix.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the Hyundai Venue.
Yeah.
You don't buy the 1 litre, you buy the 1.6, if I remember correctly. There's two other cars that also throw in there, little crossovers, and that is the Suzuki Brezza and the Toyota, what do they call it?
The Cross.
It does
No,
go
no,
the-
Urban Cruiser.
Urban
Cruiser,
Cruiser,
yeah.
which is a Suzuki Brezza.
Yeah.
It's just badging. So those two cars, they're very simple to maintain. When you open the bonnet, you look inside and say, well, I can fix that. It's not like, oh my gosh, what the hell is this? It's, spark plugs, air filter, oil filter.
The similar car to the Venue, I would also.
Yes,
I would-
it's similar to
the
the Venue.
Seltos.
Yeah.
I'd say put him in a Seltos if he doesn't like the look of a Venue. Because I kind of, although they're both similar cars or the same cars,
Yeah.
I prefer the Seltos with the look because of
Yeah, that's another one to throw in there. It's
Yeah.
it's also a nice looking car.
Yeah.
And I think that also comes, it's a 1.6 if I remember.
Yes.
And you get a 1 litre turbo and a 1.5 diesel. You stay away from the complicated ones, just the basics. If you had a Fiat 500, you're not going to want something that's like ultra sophisticated. Simple, easy to maintain. There's a whole bunch of cars there if you choose from. Go and drive.
And he can hit all the potholes.
You can hit all the potholes you want. It'll only break the suspension. Okay, stay tuned, because after the break, we find a suitable replacement for a Renault Captur 1.2 turbo.
And we embark on a quest to find the top choice between German and Swedish vehicles. You're watching Buyer's Guide, and if you just joined us, welcome to this week's show. Karen hails from Cape Town, and she wants to trade in a 2017 Captur 1.2 turbo dynamic with 81,000 kilometers on the clock to purchase a similar type of vehicle suitable for retirement in 3 to 4 years. The vehicle should be stylish yet reliable and have low maintenance. With a total budget of 300,000 Rand, including the trade-in value, excluding insurance, she considers the following vehicles top of a priority list: Honda Jazz 1.5 Sport, Mazda CX-3, Suzuki Fronx, Suzuki Brezza, and Toyota Starlet. First off, Karen knows where the good cars are.
Wow.
That's true.
I don't know what she needs our advice for.
Yeah, we
She
should get her on
just-
the panel, actually.
Yeah,
What
she
are you
should
doing
just
next
go
week?
drive all these cars
Yeah.
and see which one suits her taste.
Yeah.
Wangani, what do you think here?
No, they're all good. Stylish, like her options, the Fronx. I love the Fronx. Mazda CX-3 is stylish. Honda will run forever, like you said. So whatever she goes with, I think she'll be happy.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you just got to see what are your requirements. So you go and drive them, or do you want a vehicle that's slightly higher off the road? Then you go for something like a Suzuki Fronx or the Brezza. If you want like a hatchback, something along those car lines, the Honda Jazz is an excellent car. So is the Toyota Starlet and the Suzuki Baleno, which is the same thing. Bradley?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, all of those cars would be good options. It's about driving them and deciding what you want.
Yeah,
Which one tickles your fancy the most?
100%.
You won't go wrong with any of those.
What does it cost to test drive a car nowadays, Bradley?
Nothing. You get a free cup of coffee sometimes.
Here we go. So if you want a free cup of coffee,
yeah.
because we know you live in Cape Town, and if you have to go for a cappuccino somewhere, it's most probably like
200 Rand.
200 Rand.
Yeah.
Tourist prices. But go to the dealers, drive every single one of those, and then make your decision. Because no matter which one you chose, you're going to get a great car.
But sometimes in doing that, you just confuse yourself more. Eh? If you look at a car, just go for it. Because if I drove all of these cars,
No.
I'd love all of them.
I disagree, because if you go and drive like the Honda Jazz, because that's not top of your list, and you loved it, so this is fantastic, and then you buy it, and then your neighbor arrives at home the next day with a Suzuki Fronx, and you say, oh, I should have bought that one, I much prefer that one, or vice versa. So drive them all, go with a drive around the block with the car, see what you think, and then make your decision
You
on that.
might be confused, but at least you'll be educated.
There we go.
Ah, nice.
Oh,
Right, moving on. Swaledi, aged 42, is the owner of a 2019 Audi A3 seeking to purchase another vehicle with factors such as safety and low hijack risk. Performance, fuel efficiency, and maintenance costs as important considerations. Which would be the best buy between a 2019 Mercedes-Benz GLA, a 2020 Volkswagen T-Roc 1.4 TSI, or a 2018 Volvo XC40 D4 all-wheel drive Momentum? There's a bunch of cars there. Bongani, I'm going to start with you. What do you think along the lines of those?
Okay, he says he doesn't want anything to do with hijacking, so let's take out the VW.
Yeah.
I actually like the Volvo. I found a couple of them, especially 2019s and 2020 models. The interior is very nice.
I like this young man, hey?
Thank you.
I like this young man. He knows these cars.
Yeah.
I would go for that too, Bongani, but go ahead, please.
Yes, so yeah, the GLA, it's nice from the outside, but the interior is showing its age now, so yeah, I'll stick with the Volvo.
I found the GLA a bit cramped.
Yeah.
Bradley?
I don't like how the GLA drives at all. I mean, the T-Roc, it's a hijack risk, but also a very good car. Long-term maintenance will be good. It's a nice car. The XC40 would probably also be my pick. I like Volvos. I like how they drive. They're like a safe, great car. Out of warranty could be an issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look, it's the diesel, so it'll be quite good on fuel. So you should be able to save the money to help with the maintenance. Just make sure you have a good warranty. I mean, they normally don't give trouble, to be honest.
Well, I must say, we do a lot of Volvos in my workshop. XC60s, XC40s, not too many because they're still new and they're still under their plan. And we have very, very few problems with them, I must say. I mean, my wife's got an XC60 and it's done nearly 80,000 Ks now. I've had to put a battery in it. That was terrible. We had to put a battery.
Expensive.
I mean, literally, it's super light on fuel. There's no risk in terms of theft. It's probably one of the most comfortable cars to drive.
Yeah,
and, you know, like you mentioned, Bongani, the interior of the car is, you know, the Swedish have got something. They just have that minimalistic sort of thing.
Also, the exterior is very good looking.
Yes.
The XC40, it really is nice.
Yeah. So,
you know, when Adam bought that Volvo, I had to help him bury a friend because a friend laughed at him.
yeah. But yeah, they're very good cars, the Volvos. The Mercedes is not a bad car and the Volkswagen is not a bad car. But I think out of those three, it's a no-brainer.
And if you're worrying about the hijack risk, don't worry.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody in a Volvo being hijacked.
Yeah. They might just ask you for your watch.
Yeah.
Might. Yes, they might just ask you for your watch, but they won't take your car.
Yeah.
So for us, it's the Volvo.
Yep.
Definitely the way to go. And I think once you've driven that car, and you find a lot of people with Volvos, especially the new generation, I would say from like 2015, 16 onwards, they sort of, when they changed it to the new Drive E technology, the vehicles became so much better than the previous ones, although they weren't too bad. And I've got some of these Volvos coming to us with, you know, 250, 300,000, trouble-free maintenance on them, you know, absolutely no issues. Okay.
Okay, we'll be taking a short break, but when we return, we compare the fuel consumption between the Gemini models.
And we discuss the optimal engine oil for a Mercedes-Benz SLK350. Welcome back to Buyer's Guide. Dion, who is retiring in 2 years, is solely focused on a 3-door Gemini for embarking on serious camping and touring adventures. He seeks the insights into the reliability of the engine and its potential lifetime mileage. Dion wants to know if the 5-door Gemini might have a higher fuel consumption due to its weight. Also, is it light on fuel compared to a petrol Hilux?
I think most cars, I think every other car on the road, including my V8, is lighter than a petrol Hilux.
I think the A380 is lighter on yeah. No, so yeah, it's obviously light on fuel by quite a substantial margin, but it also lacks a lot of the power compared to your Hilux would lack. So, I mean, the Gemini is a great car. It's underpowered in my opinion. The 5-door makes that problem compounded, but if he's going camping and stuff, it need the space, I would probably go for the 5-door, and also I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm with you in terms of space. The 5 doors most probably a better option. I agree with you. It's not a rocket. It's slow, but when you're taking it off-road, you don't need a car that's doing 140. You need a car that does 40 and it's capable. And the Gemini just ticks all those boxes. In terms of reliability, that engine is in like everything that Suzuki makes. They're good, reliable engines. In terms of the fuel consumption, Bongani, do you know the difference? I know it's minimal.
Actually, on the website, they list the fuel consumptions as exactly the same.
It's impossible.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not,
It's
but
long.
yeah,
It's a lie.
6.3.
No, it's a lie. You know, you will get slightly higher fuel consumption because, you know, you've got 2 extra doors, you've got extra space.
And you've got extra weight, you're loading the vehicle more.
I think
fuel consumption is definitely going to be more.
But in terms of as 4x4s go, and that is a 4x4, it's not just a soft roader.
No.
Yeah.
There's most probably is not another 4x4 that will give you the fuel consumption that the 3 or the 5-door will give you.
True.
Excellent fuel consumptions. So that would be the least of my concerns. You can get a car that uses, you know, like a big fat diesel engine, but your maintenance costs and your fuel consumption's going to go through the roof.
You know, but Adam, I just come back to the point that it's not a fast car. You're going camping and touring adventures.
You don't need a fast
You don't need a fast car.
Yeah.
You wanted to potter along at 30 k's an hour.
So that's the problem with them, is that when you drive them on the highways, they tend to get knocked about by if you're in Joburg and there's a little breeze in Cape Town, you'll feel it on the car here.
Yeah.
They are, because of the way they are shaped, but they're not designed for that. They're designed to be going off-road, and you're going to be doing No, maybe 60, 70, 80 Ks when you're going off-road, you know, in terms of speed on a... So it's perfect for the application. I agree with you, Brad. You buy the... Especially if you're going to go camping and stuff like that. The 5-door, even if you don't use the back seats, you can fold it down, you can put so much more in it. Go for the 5-door, and I'm sure you'll be very happy. In very reliable engines, bulletproof. I mean, years of proven record. So... great bike.
I mean, I know they're quite new into the market, but I believe the 5-door from a resale point of view, long term, will be much better.
Definitely, yeah.
Our last question is from Russell, the proud owner of a 2012 Mercedes SLK350. Russell wants to know about the choice of engine oil he puts in his car. He believes in using superior, fully synthetic OEM oil and opts for an annual oil analysis instead of servicing it every year. Considering it is more efficient to use quality of oil, is this ideal? Also, he seeks advice on a suitable towing vehicle for the bushwhacker Boma. While they currently use the 2019 Toyota Hilux automatic, Russell had hoped to use the 2013 Toyota Fortuna 4x4. However, he was advised against it. What's the panel's take on this? I mean, why? Hey, both of them can pull a...
Yeah, they're both good tow vehicles.
Both of them are good tow vehicles.
Let's go back to his oil.
Oil problem, yeah.
I mean, Bradley is concerned about what oil should he use. He doesn't want to change it. He'd rather send his oil away for analysis.
Yeah, so I mean, so he uses OEM oil, which is stipulated by Mercedes-Benz in this case. I would use that. The fact that most cars these days using synthetic oil,
Fully synthetic, yeah.
you can't, like, he doesn't use the car a lot. So that oil is designed to be used. So if it sits, it sort of goes off like a milk. Like if you had to leave milk, it goes off. Same principle. The more you turn it and stuff, the longer the oil actually lasts. And then it's just about how it gets dirty. So an analysis of oil, if you haven't done this, is quite expensive. So you normally only do this.
More than the oil and filter change.
Yeah, so you normally only do this if if there's a big failure and you want to figure it out and you're trying to blame the oil company or something like that. So I would take it to a garage, go and see Adam, and he'll do it for you for probably half the price of the price of the analysis. So I would change the oil, and if you really want to keep the car, I would say change the oil every 10 months.
Look, on an SLK350, it's a good, strong engine. I would say Mercedes recommend change the oil every 15,000 kilometers or once a year. Just do it once a year. Even if you've done 2,000 Ks, just change the oil once a year. It's not expensive. I mean, an oil change with manufacturer-approved spec oil and a filter is most probably in the 2,500
Rand region. Yeah,
it's not expensive. It must probably cost you less than...
Oil analysis, I can tell you from experience, is anywhere between 3,500 to 4,500.
Now, Bongani, sorry, Bradley, but Bongani, if you were going on your off-road route and you wanted to go to your Boma, what vehicle would you want?
I'll take the Hilux. It's newer, 2019. So.
Or the Fortuna.
Or the Fortuna. I don't think it really makes a difference.
Whoever said don't take those there, I mean, those perfect vehicle for it.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, that's what they're meant for. Yeah.
He's got both the vehicles. He owns both the vehicles. He should alternate.
Yeah, his wife can drive one, he can drive the other. They both go together.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how heavy that bushwhacker Boma is because it's those heavy off-road trailers. So I know that the Hilux will have a better towing capacity.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Boma in the bush.
No.
No, man.
It's a caravan.
So like a big 4x4 caravan.
Ah, shows you what I know.
So I mean, you could use either car. I think the Hilux will pull it better because the Hilux's body and so on is a bit lighter, and the engine, it's actually designed as a workhorse more than a luxury vehicle. Where the Fortuna is more of a luxury SUV. But I mean, they both should be able to tow it. I think they're well within their capacities from a weight limit point of view. I don't see any issue with either of them.
Are they? Another Fortuna said was 4x4. We don't know if the Hilux is 4x4.
No, it's not a 4x4.
No, it's not 4x4. So that's why I think he's asking, because they'll park the trailer, pop it open, and then they go game viewing. So like if they had to go into Botswana or like.
Well, then you want to take the 4x4 with you, because also, if you're driving on dirt roads and you've got a 4x4 and you can put it into high 4, you've got much better stability than just a normal rear-wheel drive. So I think I would take the Fortuna. It's got a lot of space in it. Brad says take the Hilux. It just goes to show you can take any of them.
Yeah.
Any of them would be.
As long as they're Toyota.
I think it depending where you're going. So I mean, if you're just going to a normal campsite, you can take the Hilux because it's 4x2. Yeah. But if you're going to the likes of Botswana or Namibia or something like that, then the 4x4 is the only way to go.
If you want to tow it to Kruger, and you're going to go to Skukuza and park it on the campsite there, then just go on the roads to check Kruger, then sure, you don't need to take the 4x4 because you're not going to use that capability. But if you are doing like bad dirt roads, and like you mentioned, you're going to Botswana, Mozambique, wherever, then you need that 4x4 capability. You take that. I think you've got the perfect vehicle. So I think it's quite simple. Change your oil once a year on your Mercedes. Take the Hilux or take the Fortuna. They're both brilliant.
And there's something else he should be doing. He should be driving his Mercedes more often, man.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a lovely car.
Yeah.
You should jump in your SLK, put the top down. Him and his wife should go for a Sunday run every Sunday.
Trying
There
to
we go.
preserve the oil.
Take your wife out for lunch every Sunday. Just like that, unfortunately, we've come to the end of another show. Morgani Bradley, once again, thank you for all your great advice. Much appreciated.
Thanks for
Mr.
having me.
How much? And Brad, thank you very much.
And thanks for letting Adam know that was a
A trailer.
trailer.
We'll educate him.
When you said
Thank you.
it was a bone, I'm sorry.
Until next time, remember to keep left, pass right, and please keep it safe on the roads.